Well, I'm delighted to welcome Fahad Almawash from Saudi Arabia, who is an international student studying engineering at Queen's University, and Huma Irfan from Pakistan, who's also doing her master's in engineering. And we're going to have a conversation about being international in Kingston. So welcome, guys.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Edward.
What attracted you to Queens and Kingston? Perhaps we could start with you, Huma.
Yeah, for me, I think the reason for coming to Queens was my research. I'm doing research in environmental engineering. And that's the #1 research group in Canada. So that was one of the reasons that attracted me. And after that, I explored Kingston and I got to know it's a small city and I could easily adjust to it.
Oh, well, yeah. That's great.
And for me, I first looking at the rank of the universities, and I'm trying to find a small city and has a very good university. And then I saw Queen's #7 at that time in 2008. And then I applied for Queen's School of English and I got an acceptance, and I applied for Queen's and I got a conditional acceptance. So I came here to this small city. I want to be away from speaking Arabic, because my focus first to speak English and then start my undergrad.
Yeah, well, a great place to learn English for sure.
True.
And what was it like arriving here, and what were your first impressions?
When I arrived here, it was in January 2010, and the weather was very cold and it was snow everywhere. And the city where I'm from, it's normally very hot there, and the winters are not very, very cold. So that was a huge change.
Yeah.
And I think the difference is east and west. It's totally different. So I was homesick and I was depressed, but finally the things were like pretty easy for me, and with time I got used to it. Okay. In the beginning it was difficult. Weather was the issue.
Weather was the issue. What made a difference for you during that difficult period?
I think when I came to the university and interacted with different people, so they counsel you in every way. They also like tell us how to deal with the weather and what clothing to wear. So I think like talking to people was the most important thing that helped me getting out of that difficult phase. Because the more you interact, I think that helps you getting out of that homesickness phase and all that stuff. Right. So interaction was the important thing.
Okay, great. Yeah. Fahad arrives in Kingston. How was it?
I arrived here in August 2008, and I came with my sister here in Kingston. She was driving, and I entered this small city. I was actually scared because I don't know anybody, and I was 18, and I just have no knowledge about traveling outside my country and coming here in different society, different culture, different everything. Looking at it, it's shocking, and I don't know how to talk to people.
Yeah.
And I remember once deciding that I want to go buy some groceries, and it was very hard decision because I had to sit down and write everything translated from Arabic to English.
Wow.
And after I translated, I bring this paper with me to the grocery store and I just say, and smile, and I got all the stuff I needed, but it was hard.
Yeah. So English was a barrier for you. Did you find the people, especially in the grocery store in this case, or the supermarket, to be very helpful?
Yeah, they are very helpful, but the problem is whenever they ask me, even I don't know what to answer. Right. So I usually answer yes, and if they don't, if they look strange, I say no, and if they look strange, I say I don't know. That's it.
Yeah. Well, what do you think international students bring to this city?
On diversity, I think for the Kingstonians, I think they would see different people from different world, and they would see that how do we behave, like what do we wear, what do we eat. So I used to invite friends who were Canadians over my place, and I used to cook food, and you know, they get a chance to know that how do we behave with guests, how do we treat guests, and on special occasions as well. So they get a chance to get familiar with the culture as well, that what are the occasions we celebrate and how do we celebrate.
Yeah.
So, and I think so that I know a few people who never met any Pakistanis before, and I came up with an image that, okay, like, this is what we are and this is how we behave.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with Huma, and also there is one point I would like to add, which is we bring the knowledge about our countries. How is it like for real? For example, I was standing once at the stop bus, and a lady asked me. I was playing with the snow, and I was known that I'm not from here because I was very interested in the snow. I've never seen it. So she asked me, "Where are you from?" So I told her from Saudi Arabia. And then she told me, you don't have any snow there? I told her no. And she said, so you live in a tent and you ride a camel and
oh, wow.
you have an oil, that's it? I told her, no, we don't live in a tent anymore, and we don't ride camels anymore, but we have cars, and I live in a big city, which is Riyadh, the capital city, which has 5 million people and has big roads, and it reminds me of Toronto when I go there.
Right. So no questions like Pakistan. Where's that?
No, and I think it also added that they get a chance to know that people in Pakistan, like the women, they are also interested in studying abroad. It's not like people used to think, they used to ask me a weird question like this, that do girls study or are they allowed to go abroad? So it was kind of an, breaking that stereotyping image that there's nothing like that, that we are not allowed to study or we don't go abroad and see the world. We are, that's why I'm here.
Okay, so do you feel like you've had opportunities to share your culture and to share your cultural perspectives with others while you've been here?
Yes, definitely. Like even if we are sitting in the lab and interacting with different colleagues, and I think interaction is the most important thing. How can you transfer your culture? So, and as I'm mentioning that people normally stereotype, seeing on the media that how do people from that part of the world behave, but when they see in real, they get a chance to see that no, it's not like always with everybody and it's not the truth. So I think I played it was important for me to portray my culture and my traditions, and it helped to create a better image.
Yeah. Would you like to?
Yeah, I shared my culture even through International Center, and I've seen a lot of people there from different parts of the world, and I've shared some of part of my culture, like bringing Arabic coffee, which is much different than black coffee, which is brown actually. It's not black and has spices and it has different taste totally. With some dates we eat it, and International Center have helped me a lot sharing my culture through the university. Yeah,
so the programming that will be there that allows that exchange to take place. Now, in terms of, I mean, we can talk about a lot of the positive experiences that you've had, but have you had any negative experiences or barriers that you've come up against?
For me personally, I didn't face any negative barriers such, because I think the system was so easy to blend in and you find help and support in each and every step. And I think that the university is catering a lot of international students. So they are pretty much aware of what problems do they face and they help you with those. So for me, it was not difficult for me to get used to the system. I was pretty much okay with it in a short period of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the adaptation
and
was
language was not a problem for me, because we have been taught in English and back home. So I could communicate with people. I think that's why it was easier for me, because communication was not a problem for me.
Okay. Fahad, how was your experience?
My experience was hard because of the culture shock and not speaking the language, except very basic and few words that only certain to produce myself and say hi, and that's it. So sometimes even my pronunciation is a bit different. So when I go to some stores, and for example, when I go to Tim Hortons and I ask them, can I have a French vanilla? And sometimes they don't understand me because maybe my accent is a bit different.
So they end up giving you maybe a spice chai or something.
Yeah, sometimes like that. And mostly I have trouble until now asking for a bottle of water.
Mm.
So usually they say 40 box of Timbits.
I don't know how bottled water and Timbits are related, but okay. So language has been the main one. Did the International Center? I think one of you just mentioned the International Center as a venue that you've used to share your culture. Would you like to reflect on how it's made a difference for you during your time here, and providing that avenue opportunity for you to venture out or experience the greater Kingston community?
For me, yeah, the International Center, they hold a English language support program, and every Thursday you go there and meet different people. So from International Center, I made a lot of friends in Kingston. So it helped me to get familiar with lots of people from different countries.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my international experience have grown just because of the International Center, because I have French friends, I have a friend from Nepal, Indian friends, and then we have an African guy with us. So we hang out in a group, and you know, when you're a group of different people from different countries, we share different experiences, and we have explored Kingston together.
Yeah.
So the venue was International Center again because they provided us a platform to see different people. And the basic reason for that was to improve others people's language, like who have trouble speaking English, so they can talk with others. And it also helped me to get familiar with different accents, you know, different people talk. So when you're interacting with 5 different people, you get to know actually now, finally after 2 years, I know that when a Chinese say this, what does it mean?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Fahad, how has the International Center?
Actually, International Center was part of my life here in Kingston, because having difficulties or knowing not what to do is part what they helped me with. For example, sometimes in the winter you don't have a lot of sun and you feel depressed. So I remember one of the staff at the International Center introduced me to vitamin D. So because back home we have a lot of sun,
Right.
but here we don't have a lot of sun. So I went once to the International Center, and one of the staff, her name is Susan, introduced me to vitamin D, and she told me take some because you need the vitamin D because we don't have a lot of sun in the winter here. And also I've met a lot of friends, as Huma said, and play ping pong with them over there, drink some tea and talk and play chess, and from different parts of the world, Japanese, Chinese, Indian, Pakistan, from Mexico. So I've made a big friends, group of friends here in Kingston, international and also Canadian. Sometimes I brought my classmates to play ping pong in the International Center.
That's great. I mean, even your English. You're talking about how you could not speak English before, and the only way you're going to communicate with people from other cultures is if you're able to speak a common language, and English is that vehicle. So look at where you are today.
True. Thanks.
Well, it's great to have you guys. Thank you for spending this time with us, and we wish you. I wish you the very best with your studies.
Thank you.
And with your time here in Kingston.
Thanks.
Please stay tuned for more on diversity after this.